So you've got, at this point, you've got experience on the client side, and then you flip over to the contractor side, Husky Sunrise. How close were you to the construction team? What was your role there? And what was it like representing the contractor and interfacing with?
So Husky Sunrise was a SAGD facility, so steam assisted gravity drainage, which is the the technology that's well known to produce results in oil sands, and just because of the nature of the resource, we had to work very very closely during the conversion process with a multitude of disciplines. So as part of the lump sum conversion, you stand up a team that is responsible for estimating, for producing a baseline scope and a baseline schedule and a baseline cost estimate. And then when we hit the 60% engineering, we ran the process, and at 90% we submitted a lump sum proposal to Husky, which they had 30 days to approve, and it was 37 volume. That 37 volume was produced by the team. So we had to do, construction, constructability, and we had to do estimation of all the engineering, remaining engineering, all the procurement of the long lead item based on a buyout report for everything that needs to be bought until the end of the project, with some room for escalation, because you're taking a risk for the stuff that you haven't bought yet once you go into lump sum. And then the construction piece, there was a lot of risks that we had to account for. So we ran a Monte Carlo risk analysis with the risk folks, construction people in the room, engineering people in the room, procurement, quality, all the disciplines, and produce those tornado diagrams, and you identify the top risks, and you identify the contingency, and you build a lump sum contract, that a lump sum proposal that has to be internally approved by the executives and the board, because it's once you reach 100, a few $100 million, you need to get the board approval, and that's for all the EPC companies, not necessarily the one I was working for. And then start negotiating that with the client. And some contracts have lump sum conversion subject to dispute resolution. Some companies don't. So when there is no avenue to go to dispute resolution, any conflicts have to be resolved, and a contract has to be converted, and then you're into a lump sum contract. You need to work even closer with the construction and everybody else to make sure that you're doing things, correctly the first time. So because rework is to your account, and you need to finish ahead of schedule, because that will maximize your profit and put you away from liquidated damages. And the lump sum environment forces contractors to be efficient and to essentially make sure that the turnover requirements are identified at the beginning of the work, understood by everyone, and that all the contractual obligations understood by the team, and they've assigned, and everyone understand their role in executing the contract and meeting the deadlines, and making sure that at the end, when the final product is handed over to the client, that you're not staying further to work on punches and this and that. So minimal um, punching and finishing the work, and that's how you get out, and you look for the next job.